Hey guys, I'm Dave. I'm the executive director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chas Blackbird, and I have the honor of being the president of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. And I'm laughing because we have an Instagram live going. This is take 2. We had some audio issues, but hey, you got to roll with the punches and have some fun. My special friend's on today. I'm so excited to have you aboard. You're a media mogul, and really you have your own organization and company and doing big things. So yeah, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, hello, Northern Nevada. Tabnie Dozier here, Emmy Award-winning journalist, Kentucky native that has been blessed to call Reno, Nevada my home for, 6 years in July.
Wow,
yes,
it flew by.
I moved July 2018 out here.
I remember seeing you on the nightly news, right?
Yes,
it was the evening anchor?
It was, yeah 10 and 11 p.m.
Ooh.
And I was doing Facebook Live,
Yeah.
Started introducing the community to behind the scenes. And then, like you said, we'll get more into my new journey now as a full-time entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I love, before we go on, I love that you were in the mainstream media, but then you had some dreams, and you really... You flapped your wings, you took some risk, and it paid off. And it's working, so that's awesome.
Thank you, Chaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for taking time, and we really care about the community, and you do too. So we're really glad you're here talking about it with us.
Yes, it's a wonderful platform that you guys have built, and thank you for for sharing it with me.
We're honored to have you on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you are new or newish, and this is your first time listening to the Community Cares podcast, this is a local podcast where we talk about 3 upcoming events in the community, and we normally highlight a community resource, and this week is you.
Yay.
So thank you so much for being here.
Awesome.
We always are sharing our podcast all over on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all over the place, and we're also on YouTube and Facebook. You type in Community Cares Podcast, and we're the first thing that comes up. Thank you, our listeners, for being a part of this and making it that way, right?
Crazy. 46 weeks, you said, right? This is 46?
46.
Yay.
So when we started, he was like, hey, we should do this podcast. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Are you thinking like once a month? He's like, once a week. I was like, what? But we did it.
Gotcha.
So.
Roped him in.
Hey, consistency is important,
No
right?
doubt.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So we're really excited to have you guys a part of this journey with us, listening. I can't believe anyone listens to Chaz and I talk for 40 minutes.
They don't. They get on for our guests.
They get off our guests. That's right. That's true. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this. We're going to dive into upcoming events within the community. The first thing is Truckee River. There is a walking tour happening with HRPS, and this is a part of Art Town, so please make sure to be a part of this. Hit up historicreno.org to get the $10 tickets for non-members. If you're a member of historicreno.org, you should be able to be there, but it talks about the great floods in this tour and voices from the past and all sorts of things. A lot of really cool history in Reno. There really is. It's a very interesting city.
Man, there's so much history here. There really is.
Well, and I'm interested with the weather phenomenon
Yeah.
now. What I've seen in the last 5 or 6 years, and what the Truckee has been through. Super
man.
low, and then really, really full because of good winters.
It's crazy.
It's
It is
wild
crazy.
to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, it's pretty crazy. And so definitely check out what's happening with that. It's going to be a great walking tour. Nika and I used to do walking tours actually for people. Some people hired us for that.
Yeah.
And we did a few of those. Those were pretty fun.
They had a cool little blog, right?
Yeah, we did a locals vlog where
Okay.
we highlighted Reno things.
Awesome.
Reno Tahoe.
That's really not that bad for $10 or free if you remember. I mean, take the family out,
Yeah.
enjoy the river, and that's awesome.
And in the morning,
In the
might
morning,
I add.
yeah.
Oh, it's so hot. And if you guys
So
may
hot.
notice, you hear a little bit of noise in the background, we actually do have a fan going. It is hot in the studio, and we're trying to keep the temperature lower.
Dang, Tabnie, make it hot.
Brought in the heat, baby.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so we're having a lot of
Sorry,
fun.
Dave, you're not bringing the heat.
Sorry, Dave.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Anyways, this is a pre-recorded episode, so thank you guys for being a part of this. Normally we are live every single Monday at 5:45 p.m. So the second event we wanted to highlight.
This is a Great American Parade, and it's July 4th at 11 a.m. downtown off Virginia Street. And what an awesome just thing to be a part of. Thank you, Brighton. We got
Yeah.
a free booth as a nonprofit, and he always takes care of us. But I just love those kinds of community events, and regardless of your political party or what you're about, the truth is we live in a great country to have a lot of freedoms, and we have a lot to be grateful for. Still things that need to change, right, as every place, but definitely. I was hoping you weren't going to like spit out your water when I started talking political. No, just
let me just listen this go around. You're right. You're exactly right in terms of, there's stuff for the kids. It's, us adults, we bring the lawn chairs and the blankets.
That's
we
right.
ground with Mother Earth. We, celebrate our successes.
Yeah.
And that's always a really, really nice turnout. Starts at 11 a.m.
Yeah, it starts at 11, and it's going to be, or it might be a little earlier than that. I think it's 10. We shared it on our Facebook page. If you're listening to this, you can definitely see
There'll
it.
be fireworks downtown, too.
There's going to be fireworks later, absolutely. So we're really excited, and it's going to be a great event. We're going to be there telling people in the community about Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet and what we're doing.
So y'all have a booth.
Yeah, we have a booth.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Brighton is, so he's the head of a Great American Craft Fair, and he's a friend of ours, been on the show, and he donated the booth to us, so that was really nice.
It's always great to be in the community. We always get people that walk up and they have no idea that we give away our clothes for free, and that's something I love. We never charge, not in over 28 years have we ever charged anybody, and that's important. So
spectacular.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is being a part of the community. That's what the show is about. That's what our microcloset expansion project is about, is how can we meet people where they're at? How can we keep growing what we're doing and helping even more? Because we love being able to be in the community and serve the people that need it the most. We're
stronger united. We love this podcast because it brings different organizations together. We got to start working together more, as nonprofits and community leaders, and we just need to come together.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea behind the podcast, is just conversations. It really is a laid back environment. We don't have a lot scripted. If you look at our show notes, they're a complete mess. So it's not,
because it's about the conversation.
It's about the conversation, absolutely, and that's what really matters. So the third thing we want to highlight is our event, and it is desserts from around the world at the National Automobile Museum, and tickets are available on our front page. They are selling right now, so please get your tickets. Be a part of what we're doing in the community, and that is a great way to be a part of it, is by coming to our event and helping fundraise for Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. We are a nonprofit, and we need to keep our lights on. The best way to do that, and the best way to continue to power our vehicle with gas for all of the microcloset expansion we're doing and everything else, is supporting fundraisers like this.
And you get some great desserts from around the world. That's a win-win.
When you said desserts, my ears perked up. Literally, you get to party with a purpose.
Exactly. Party with.
Take a little extra calories, but it's all right. Good flavors.
Yes. Well, and included in the ticket is 2 drink tickets. So you get 2 drink tickets, and then you get a raffle ticket, and then the desserts. So, and you get to support a local nonprofit.
And it's a family event, so we will have some small toys for the kids, and the prices do go up after July 5th. We're going to be on morning break, and then July 6th, they go up to $65. So please get them early before they go up.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's going to be a fun event. We're very excited to have the community out. Thank you so much, Phil, for donating the patio to us for our event. It's going to be fun. So we're going to have a fun time.
Have you ever been to the National Automobile Museum on the patio? It's
the patio is only like 2 years old.
It's so new.
So nice.
So that's what I haven't seen.
It's so pretty.
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We've done an event there. Phil's a friend of ours, and he's really believes in our mission, what we're doing here, and he donated the patio to us in the past, and it was a really pretty time. Just seeing the river, seeing everything, nature and everything else, and then being outside, especially in that warm summer months,
I have to give him some props because he gave us a bunch of clothes and he was laughing, saying, "I'm never going to fit in those again." But hey, check it out. I saw him at the Parkinson's event, and we had Vanessa Williams came to town for the Parkinson's fundraiser. And he's lost a lot of weight. He looks great. Good. And so he probably would have fit those clothes, but we appreciate the donation.
So we're still going to keep them, but thank you.
Thank you.
And congrats on, getting the health, making the health a priority. Phil's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our 3 events that we wanted to talk about. We have a lot going on in the community, and there's lots more. Definitely keep on looking out for different events in the month of July, especially with Art Town going on and summer events. There's lots of things happening. So many things we didn't even mention here. So definitely check out arttown.org and go through the events calendar and do something. They even have a rating too, because I'm going to be honest, some of those events are PG-13, and even more. So definitely pay attention to the rating they've given for the event, and then they have great family events too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love the balance. They take care from the young to the young at heart.
Oh,
That's
they
right.
totally do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to our community resource, and I definitely consider you a community resource. We were talking about this. This has actually been our 3rd year together at the Nevada Donor Network Remembrance Ceremony. What a powerful ceremony, and you MC it. But you really help organizations develop to be the best selves and to be able to get out in the community. And so tell us a little bit about your organization and what you do, your business, and then also, how you got started in that. What made you want to become who you are today?
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, I grew up watching TV news, and in my day, it was beautiful to see all those small representations. Oprah, Robin Roberts, Gwen Ifill, some of those staple Black female journalists that showed a young Tabnie, you could go this route.
You can do it.
Yeah, storytelling really is a passion of mine. I got into high school. I was a high school basketball player, and I'm from Kentucky, like I said, which is a big basketball state.
Yeah,
and so when
I didn't know that.
Yes. When the sports guys would come to the games, I always had my eye on the camera, and I'm like, hey, make sure you get shot to number 40, baby. I was just attracted to it. And so, honestly, I ended up blowing out my knee 6 games into my senior year. I tore my ACL. Awful. It was literally the worst case scenario.
But God had a purpose.
Well, and his plan is much better than anything that we can come up with. And so, because my parents were such sticklers on academics, I was able to get a full academic scholarship to Western Kentucky University.
That's amazing.
Which is fantastic. Wow. So that's where I went to school, majored in broadcast journalism, minor in Spanish, got into the business right after my undergrad, came out to Reno in 2018. And I just love factual information. I love giving people in the community a platform. Whether it's breast cancer awareness or, a survivor story or a local nonprofit doing good for those in need.
Which is so important because, there's a lot of great resources out there, but they don't know how to drive the awareness. And people don't even know they exist sometimes.
Exactly. And when you're in it, which I know you two can relate, your ears deep in it, right? As CEO, as president, as dad, friend, brother, son, all the titles you wear, having a marketing and communications expert say, hey, that's a story. Hey, that's a great story. Hey, have you put the word out about that? So after a decorated and magnificent career as a local news anchor on both sides of the country, after COVID, after racial unrest, after the loss of one of my closest friends, life was put into a greater perspective. And TV anchors, journalists, print, radio, TV, we are first responders. Yeah. We respond. We tell you some of the most debilitating things going on.
Which you see as well sometimes.
We see it firsthand. And then also think about what we digest but don't give out because it is too graphic for some ears to hear. And so my mental health was really going through it. And so in 2022, Tabnie Dozier Enterprises was birthed. And it is a plethora of my skill set. So we offer press release, distribution, event planning, MC and hosting services, public speaking and media training, and visual and written storytelling, which is why I became a journalist.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so that's where we are. It was a lot of talking to God. And my best friend, Stevan, who passed away in a car accident in 2021, during our time together as friends, he would always say, listen, I know you want to be on Good Morning America, you want to go the route of network, but you have to own something of your own. And I was like, well, child, I'm going to be a brand ambassador. I see these anchors who have all these great deals and they're spokeswomen for great causes. And that's what I thought ownership was. I was never introduced to entrepreneurship in my childhood or young adulthood. And it became clear I am the brand. Yeah. I am the corporation. People who have watched me for decades connect with me. Yes. Yeah. So wherever I go, on a screen or in this entrepreneurial route, people are going to follow because I've built the relationship. And so he is my, one of my special angels, along with the other ancestors that are cheering me on and molding and literally laying a path that I never saw for myself.
Well, for your heart too. I mean, to be able to be a business owner, you have the flexibility to stay true to who you are. You're not being told what to do. You can really be honest about the things you're reporting on or being a part of or exposing or bringing awareness to. So I think that's incredible.
Thank you so much. And that's a really good point too, because while, the local news is getting a very, very bad rap, but I want to remind you about your local journalists who shop at the same grocery stores. Your kids go to the same schools. We're at the same Great American parades and art town events. So we really get into it to lift the community up and for storytelling. But like you said, there's restrictions. If there's murders and fires and blizzards and 80s clothes, then the good storytelling that I want to do gets reduced because public service, public safety is the top priority. But I got to a point in my career after doing all that grinding, I'm ready to massage the stories out. And sure, it might be 3 minutes. Sure, it might be 4 minutes. So what? Now, in an independent realm with independent media, we don't have limits. Clients hire us, corporations hire us for stories to go on their YouTube channels, in their newsletters, if they're written on their website. We can profile client success stories or staff success stories, and there's no limits anymore.
That's so awesome.
It's freeing.
And
yeah, it is.
I was going to say, so what are some of the partners you have that you can talk about, or like what are you doing in the community? I've seen you be a part of sports teams, and there's so much.
Yes, absolutely. So names that our listeners will resonate with them would be Washoe County. We did wonderful, right? The second most populated county in the state. Hired a little old media company, with a new foot in the community, so to speak. And so we've done visual storytelling for their YouTube, highlighting employees for Black History Month or Women's History Month and things like that. Karma Box Project, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northern Nevada are going to be some of the most notable. And then we had our first federal client, the Nevada National Guard, last year.
Congrats.
And we did a 2-day public speaking training workshop. Because as you know, those men and women, very stoic, very militant, and they were contacting us to soften up their presentation skills, or when they meet with civilians, or they serve in workshops or panels in the community. And so that's a big one with the federal level.
Well, and that, and then Washoe County, I think government operates so much better when they can really meet the community where they're at, right? And actually reach them, because there is a gap in a lot of different areas of just the average person getting the information they need to get and feeling comfortable to build that trust.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And then you bring in a journalist who, we have the blessing of having our foot in the community and a foot in the legal realm. So we're able to bring the information in a deliverable way, in a friendly way, a conversational way. We take complex issues, and they need to be able to be understood by someone with a 6th grade education and a PhD.
Yes.
Yeah, they're taking a complicated issue and being able to make it understandable.
That's an art.
By people that are, have that 6th grade education and those with the PhDs. That really matters. I had a speaker teach me once that he just said, Dave, layman's terms, always make it as simple as possible and communicate effectively, and then you'll get your point across.
The acronym is KISS. Keep it simple, sweetie.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
I like sweetie better than the other one.
Get more bees with honey than vinegar, right?
Yes. Keep it simple.
I thought I heard it different.
I think so, too. But for our listeners, we're calling them sweeties.
I did want to touch on something. I appreciated you bringing that up, because we had a conversation. I won't go into that conversation, but just the general gist of it. We have to break the stigma of grief, right? And as a community, we don't encourage our fellow citizens and family and friends to be able to grieve and give them permission to grieve.
I can't say enough. I think 2020 woke up the world, how neglected mental health and mental wellness is. Yeah. And, we talk about the parade, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. America's very capitalistic, right? So it's work, 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 work. Yeah. But what if their internal gas tank is on E?
Yeah.
How can you give when you are not full
Can't pour
My-
from an empty
yourself.
glass.
My
Yep.
internal and my external one in the truck.
and the one outside. Baby, then we still sitting still, you know? And that's really the truth. And to take it a step further from my profession, we are public figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for the first time in my life, how I bring up my life-changing moment was I never had to grieve publicly. I had tremendous empathy. And I have had grief, and I have cried with murder victims' families and those who have lost homes to natural disasters. But grief kicked down my door.
Yeah.
And it was totally different because then my eyes were open to, oh, so I'm just a face.
Yeah.
You don't care about my heart or me, the person.
Ooh.
And that was
That could be
eye-opening.
really hurtful,
It was
I'm sure.
very painful.
Yeah.
It was debilitating, if I can be honest,
Yeah.
because
Ouch.
he passed in a car wreck. How many deadly car wrecks do you see on
Right.
TV or do you get push alerts? It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're doing the 5 and the 6 p.m., then the 10, then you say it again at the 11, and you're trying to get to a funeral
Yeah.
across the country.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and
Talk
then
about
you
triggers. Everywhere.
triggers.
Yeah.
And then there's limited PTO because, like first responders, our consistency is key.
Yeah.
You know, to keeping this wheel turning.
Wow.
And I just did not like the you know, a lot in the local news are desensitized to death,
Sure.
right? Because it
Oh,
happens
absolutely,
so
yeah.
frequently. We
Right.
cover it by the hour,
Yep.
Yeah.
sometimes quicker.
Wow.
And I don't know that realtors and teachers, you know, when I shared my struggles, I received thousands of comments from healthcare professionals from every sector. I just speak from the lens that I know the best.
Yeah.
But we all suffer, and we all are not given, you know, what is 3 bereavement
Oh,
days
I
if you
know.
lose a spouse or a child?
I mean, that's crazy.
What? And like I said,
That's
I'm from
crazy.
across the country.
Yeah.
So it's 6 to 9 hours for me to get there. So I'm
Yeah.
spending PTO just being in airports and on airplanes.
It's crazy.
The math wasn't mathing,
Yeah.
you know, when it came into that space. And it changed my life. And I'm a mental health advocate to my last breath.
Amen.
And you turn
Absolutely.
pain into purpose. You
I
know?
did. I did.
You said party into purpose earlier. I love that, but
Mhm.
also pain into purpose.
Pain into
so.
purpose.
Math isn't math.
Yeah, it's not mathing.
like
It's
it.
supposed to math,
That's
and
right.
it ain't mathing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that was a big change for me, and thank you for the platform to be
Oh,
able not
yeah.
only to share my story for many who aren't aware,
Yeah.
Sure.
but to put that note of, have you checked on you?
Yeah.
You know, your cup
Oh,
should
yeah.
be full so that whatever you give is overflow.
Yeah.
But when you're pouring from an empty cup, nothing's coming out. Or who is
Sure.
suffering? You.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
not just you, the people around you
Come on.
too.
Yeah,
So
your
I
family.
mean, when you're empty, the people around you suffer. Family, coworkers, everyone, because you're not able to be the best version that you could be, right?
Mhm.
So if you're not taking care of your body, your
Mhm.
mind, everything, then you're gonna be a terrible person. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's the reality.
Yeah.
You're not going to be yourself. Like, we all talk about what's the
Self-care?
term? What was that?
Self-care.
Well, yeah, it's self care. But when people are hangry, right?
Oh.
when you're hungry and you haven't eaten yet and you get angry, you're not yourself. It's the same thing when you're empty, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're just not who you can be.
Or,
the best
or
version of
grieving.
yourself.
People do crazy things in grief, right? Because
Yes.
it's such a tough thing.
Yes, and you know, there's a stigma, and I know a lot in the Black community. It's therapy's for crazy folks, or we just pray about it. We don't share our business. There's nothing wrong with saying you're not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay
There's,
to
it's
not
the
right.
be okay like the book.
strongest thing
Yes.
you can do.
100%.
And that's awesome that you have that voice that you're able to say that openly, right?
Mhm.
So that,
And I think that's the
matters.
space, because there's a lot of, you know, former colleagues across the state, the nation, who would, but still being connected to that company or that entity, you know, comes with some silence. But I'm
Yeah.
even louder and prouder now, because what you gonna do about it, baby?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I work for me,
That's right.
That's right.
and I love it.
That's awesome.
You get to travel quite a bit too.
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, like I said, you know, limited PTO, we're needed as a face on TV. Last year alone in 23, I went to Kentucky 5 times.
That's awesome.
Wow.
They hadn't seen me that much since I moved, since
Wow.
before I moved. And so that freedom and flexibility to,
Good for the soul for you.
oh my
And them.
gosh, I'm still blessed to have 3 grandparents
Wow.
plus my parents.
That's amazing.
And so it matters to
Yeah.
hug them, to touch them, to spend time with them,
Yes.
to look at them in their eyes, because no one's out here for me that I grew up with. And so the travel, just domestically was great, but then internationally, getting to take vacations and some business opportunities What? I love it here.
We said it in take one, but take two. Tell us where you just were. It was
Oh, yes,
beautiful.
yes, yes. I just got back from Cartagena, Colombia in South America.
Ooh.
Yes, and a travel company hired us for storytelling. And so this
That's
travel
cool.
company is focused on being of service
Smart. Yeah.
globally.
That's cool.
And their company's called Passports Matter. Your passport matters.
Oh, I like
Nice.
that.
Isn't that
That's cool. Yeah.
I've never been out of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me
Really?
either.
Oh,
Me
my
either.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Only U.S. Only U.S. I just go to Disneyland. That's all I do.
Mhm.
My wife and I. That's all we do is Disneyland. Terrible. We but you're absolutely right. And what I wanted to ask you is, how do you fill your tank? What are some key ways that you recharge?
Put her on the
Yes.
spot. Huh?
Oh, I love it. So we have a series on Tabnie Dozier Enterprises, Instagram, my LinkedIn, Mental Health Monday.
Oh,
So
I like that.
every
Yeah.
week we put, sound bites that we've gathered from community members, celebrities, executives on what they do. So this is very timely because
Okay.
Mental Health Monday. For me, yoga is a big one. And I love, you got to move the body as we
Moving the
get
body.
older. It's
Exercising.
so
Yeah.
important. And it does not have to be a studio. It doesn't have to be a girthy membership. It could be
Right.
a free YouTube.
Sure.
Push your coffee table out the way, which is
Yeah.
my specialty. And my mat is in the living room right now. If I need it in the morning, if I need it in the afternoon, before you go to bed, after
Yeah.
you've been ripping and running all day. So yoga is big. I begin my day with God. So definitely I touch the scripture.
Yeah.
Every morning. I don't have to start my day with work. I start
Right.
my day with the Creator.
Mm.
And that's
beautiful.
a really, really good shift in my mind, in my mental. When I'm feeling good, when I'm not feeling good. Walking is
Oh,
a big
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I love walking. I'm down by
Me too.
Huffaker Park
Oh,
in the
yeah.
Oh,
south
yeah,
with
nice.
that nice
Yeah,
lookout
that's
up
beautiful.
there.
Yeah.
That's where I go to watch the fireworks now,
Oh,
too. I
nice.
can see,
You don't fight the crowds anymore?
not anymore. I take my lawn chair up top with
That's
a cooler.
awesome, yeah.
I can see Damani Ranch. I can see the Nugget, and I can see
That's
downtown
awesome.
Reno.
You see it all.
Yes, so the outdoors would be a big one that I could just crux
Yeah.
of walking, of
Yeah.
going to put my feet in the grass and read a book, shooting
Yeah.
some hoops at a park, and getting to the water is
Okay.
really,
Still
really.
got Tabnie still's got
There
the
is-
game, huh?
Mhm.
There's something about being around water. I agree with you. Like there's something about it. Like it sounds so silly. My front yard, I have just a water fountain that I just leave there all the time. And it's so peaceful when I'm reading a book or,
Yeah.
or working on, even just working. There's just something about being outside
Mhm.
and just hearing water. Like
Mhm.
truly, very healing.
In any capacity, I think the water, the trees, the sky, they remind us how small we are.
Exactly.
Mm.
You know, that something's so much bigger than
Bigger.
us. So your worry really isn't that
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Your issue isn't really, and it may be big. You
Yeah,
know, it
sure.
may be grief. It
Yeah.
may be. But when you just catch your breath and you just calm and you just ground and you just cry,
Makes a huge,
maybe.
huge difference.
Might just take a nap,
Yep.
you know?
Might just eat some food.
Might
and
just
then
eat
take a
and
nap.
not hangry anymore. I mean, whatever
Yeah.
it is. But getting near the water is so ridiculously peaceful, whether it's a fountain, a lake, a man-made in
Or
your
the ocean.
neighborhood.
I love the ocean.
Yep.
Oh man, the
Mhm.
waves.
The idea, someone said this once, and it's the idea that joy itself, real true joy, doesn't have to be something that you're always experiencing, because but it's there. Finding true joy in suffering is real, and you can find true joy in suffering.
Mm.
But that true joy is just counting all that suffering, all that pain as joy,
Mhm.
because it all counts for something, right?
Mhm.
I think
And so-
gratitude as well, along with that. You have to.
Yeah.
Gratitude really helps.
Right, and it's because it doesn't. It almost feels impossible to be happy, because happiness and joy are two different things. My wife and I just watched Inside Out 2. It was a great movie. I really like it,
Oh
and
yeah.
a lot of therapists and psychologists, they actually use Inside Out as an example for their patients, and it's because they really identify the different emotions, and how your emotion isn't who you are, but your emotion is something to recognize and talk about and be a part of, but you are not that emotion. Your identity, who you are, your being, isn't that emotion.
Mhm.
Who you are, motions, one of my favorite analogies is motions are like waves, and we're standing in the ocean, and it hits us. Okay, maybe it's a soft one, maybe it's a really strong one, maybe it's one we want to go surfing on, maybe maybe there's something there, but the reality is they all pass.
Agreed. And to your point about enduring suffering, it is the same way that you go and work out and you lift weights. You do not see results that day.
No.
But you have to train that muscle to endure that pain. And you're sore. If you're doing it right, you're feeling something.
And actually, that's a great analogy because it breaks and then you get stronger.
Come on now.
Yep. I love it.
Work with me now. I'm trying to I'm trying to learn you something, as we say in the South. And so it really is, suffering is making you stronger for something. And it might be for someone else. How about that? When it's so much bigger than you and we remove ourselves. Because I know my journey, my pain, my mental health, the racism, sexism, all that I've endured in the media realm, it's not for me. It's for little Tabnie coming down the road. It's for, the way that Robin Roberts blessed me at 9 and 10 watching her. God is using me and used me in that way for someone else.
Didn't know I was getting a motivation today, speech.
Well,
I'm telling you.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is those next phases in life and who you're, because it's really easy. We talked about it on the show a lot. We've had people that should be psychologists and stuff come on the show, say some amazing things, but having the concept of we are more than what we feel, and then beyond that, we are who you are and what you do actually matters because it affects someone. So, like you're saying, what your interaction, what you've done in television or wherever else, that affects someone, one person, and every decision we make, good or bad, affects someone every single time, whether it's a good decision or a bad decision. Always there are ripple effects in society, in the community, with just one person at least, minimum, but normally it's more than one person. But whatever we do does affect someone, whether it's good or bad. And that's why being conscious of our decisions, I hear people say it all the time when they say, oh, my decisions affect me only. Well, no, it doesn't. Your decisions actually affect a lot more than just you.
Kindness can make such a big difference in just like giving someone a set of clothes, right? And I know you used to be a part of Dress for Success for a long time, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. 8 years total on both sides of the country, because I was first on the board of directors in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes.
I thought you joined here.
It started in Louisville. Well, it's a global nonprofit that's been around almost 30 years, but I started in Louisville.
Oh, okay.
When I got the job in Reno, I knew no one.
Yeah.
I knew no one. And so I reached out to the nonprofit that I was linked arms with.
That's smart.
Found the brand new chapter out here. It was not even 2 years old in 18 when I moved. And so I'm a founding board of directors for the Dress for Success Reno, Northern Nevada.
And they do great.
Affiliate. Fantastic work in terms of helping women achieve financial independence and economic success through their career, through their business ownership, resume writing, job readiness, and to the point of clothes, they matter. Your appearance matters.
Yep.
And so with what you all are doing here, it does have a good correlation with Dress for Success, because you help people dress for success. And if that's just to get by for the next week, to have something clean, if that is for a job interview, come on.
Yep,
You've made a big impact, and the donors. It's no good without the community.
That's right.
Absolutely. It's all about the community, and it bringing the community together. That's why with the show, with our Facebook posts and everything, we just do it for all people. Like I know in marketing, you normally have to try to figure out who's that person I'm
target
after.
audience.
And I mean, I guess we do have some people we target, but honestly, we really try to be all things to all people with what we're doing at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, which is really good, but it makes it really complicated sometimes too when we're writing grants or we're asking for donations, because we don't have a specific person that we're going after. We're really
just
trying
everybody.
to help. We're just trying to help just everybody. So.
And I'm really grateful for the tour before we started this, so that you can learn me a little more,
thank you.
and recognize that, I saw baby clothes, I saw young girls and guys swim clothes, and then I saw adults, I saw flannels, I saw men's shoes, women's shoes, and I think it's so incredible, the broad reach. I understand where it comes, when you're looking for grants, it's like, who do you help? And you're like 0 to 100. What do you mean? Parents, single people. All.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids, foster kid, whatever realm they fall into is beautiful. The inclusivity and your impact is greater than you can see. But thank you too for what Good Shepherds does.
Thanks.
So if there's a young lady watching out there who maybe wants to become someone like you someday, what's a message? Because you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. You want to inspire, other individuals to be able to step up the future Tabnie. What would you say to them?
Yes. I would say, number one, it's okay to change your mind. You're talking to a former TV news anchor who never saw business ownership in her realm. And it's okay that I changed my mind.
That's right.
So that's the first one. The authenticity of who you are is key. Because whether I went from TV to carpentry to construction, who's Tabnie Dozier?
Yeah, for real.
You know? And so that's your business card, is the authenticity as well. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Absolutely.
In whatever that, if it's financial help and you're struggling on rent or gas, ask. If it is wanting to pick the brain of someone like me to say, hey, what are the steps you ask?
Conversations.
Hey, can I mentor y'all and just kind of get it behind the scenes of what podcasting looks like? Ask.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Who we surround ourselves with does matter. I mean, it really does. I always try to put much smarter people around me in the room, like today.
Listen, it's so
that's how you learn.
That was the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Charles.
It's so true, though. People, and then we get these degrees and certifications. So it's all this. Oh, I know this. Oh, I know this.
Right.
We are forever students.
Right.
There is always someone
100%.
who can tell you something that you did not know. So get the ego out of the way. Check the ego at the door, and come in as a student into any space you come in.
Humbleness is so important.
If I say this all the time, I've said this in board meetings. If we all don't have someone that can call us an idiot, then we will fail. That's the reality. We all have to have at least one or two people in our life that can pull us aside. You're being an idiot.
Then that's my point 4. Is surrounding yourself, because you need some people. A lot of people get surrounded by yes men and yes women. Oh yeah, you should do that. You should wear that. You should, and they're afraid to say, "Hey, you treated that person very poorly. Hey, you owe them an apology.
I don't think you would have a problem telling me.
I'm as real as they come, and it's
good.
needed. And some people, I've lost people in this journey.
Yes,
right. Who were like, "Wow, you shared that.
That's
wow,
a good
you
point
told.
right there.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do? Why did you leave that great career? Why?"
Yeah.
So you have people that can chin check you, but then also when you're feeling low, they can lift your head and adjust your crown.
Absolutely. Yes.
I like that.
And they can say, hey, you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Yeah.
Or hey, you are doing a great job. So who you surround yourself, that's just piggybacking off of Chaz, because he hit it with that one.
You're right.
That's a big one.
Yep.
How successful would you be without a board of directors, without the volunteers that I met?
It takes the whole team. You're 100% right. Yeah.
When I started as executive director, we were this close to closing. And the first thing I was like, all right, well, we got to do, me and Kim, the past president, we were talking, and I'm like, we got to get a good board of directors. That's the key. If we get a good board of directors, other things will happen, guaranteed. If there's people that care about the community. And so, unfortunately for Chaz, he said yes to be on the board.
You tricked me into that.
And other board members who we're really thankful for, and without those smart and wise people helping support the organization, there is no Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. Without the community, without you, listener, coming alongside and doing what we're doing, there is no Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. This is a community effort. It takes a village. It really does.
I couldn't agree more. And it's just so important, to recognize, how intertwined we all are. Without your volunteers, without your board directors, without you, without, all these different donors, it doesn't work. So with me, without my clients, without my freelancers, without my e-board, without people believing in me, without me, if I had treated people poorly, this would have never worked.
That's 100%. For sure.
They've been like, we do not deal with her. She's no good. She's rude, all of this. But because I lead with my heart and authenticity, that's going to translate. Like I said, if I went into construction, it used to be on TV. Well, come on over here and get a hammer, girl, because all your references checked out. So we're going to give you a try.
Every person that's ever said something about you, I'm like, yeah, she's a friend. She's a good person. They always said something nice. Though.
See,
because you always treat people right.
I am the best business card.
this we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for being a part of the show, and it's been a lot of
Yes.
fun. We'd love to have you back at some point.
Yes.
So how can people get involved though, and
Oh, yes,
become a part of your
absolutely.
organization or
Yes.
hire you?
You know, if you're looking for a dynamic host for a nonprofit gala or fundraiser, some of the things I used to do on TV, lifting up agencies, I feel like I have a greater reach now being off air
I'm
because
sure.
I don't have to run back to the studio.
Right.
I can really cultivate and take a tour, you know, and talk to your volunteers and things like that. So, in that realm, if you need help planning events or, you know, with the storytelling aspect, info at tabniedozier.com is the email. And then, of course, I'm going to connect on Facebook and share this platform. So
Awesome.
there's various, we're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn as well, that you can
Awesome.
find me and the social media accounts to be able to keep in touch. And then please stop and say hello when you see me out and about. I never
Yes.
got to do, you know, things in like from 2 to midnight, like
Yeah.
lunches and
Yeah.
dinners, because I had to be
Right.
on air or at work getting ready for on air.
Yep.
So please stop and say hello, because just having a conversation is how you and I
know,
even
it's true.
cultivated our friendship.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then to be able to be here on the
Yeah.
show is because, you know, we had an immediate love of God. So we
Yep.
started talking, and then it's
Yeah.
formed into something. So
And
a
helping
conversation.
people.
Yes.
So,
Oh, absolutely. So but that's the email, info at tabniedozier.com.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for being here. We really
Yay.
appreciate it. It was a great time, great conversation. If you want to find out more about Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet and you want to volunteer, or if you'd like to donate time or clothing or all sorts of things, or financially, please visit getclothes.org, and all that information's there. Again, we have our event coming up very soon, so please get your tickets now while they're available. So thank you for watching. We help 700 people a month, no matter what. We're asking you to come alongside and help one. All right, guys, thank
Take
you so
care.
much. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
later.
Blessings.
Bye-bye.